Well, far-left progressives aren't just using critical race theory to transform our school system. They are now weaponizing it to take down America's immigration laws. A ruling back in August by an Obama-appointed judge in Nevada is still tied up on appeal, but is being cited by CRT advocates as a blueprint for challenging America's right to enforce and defend our borders. Joining us now for more is Ken Cuccinelli, former DHS acting deputy secretary and a senior fellow at the Center for Renewing America. Ken, great to see you. Thank you for being here. This Nevada decision just reeks of wokeness, to put a name to it.
Oh, yes.
I just want to read a little bit of it. I know you know it, but for our audience, this is from the judge. The law has a disparate impact on Latinx persons. For those not familiar with Latinx, it's the woke way of saying Latinos. And the government fails to show that the statute would have been enacted absent racial animus. I mean, of course Latinos are more affected because it's the southern border, which is all Latino. Right. I mean, it's a ridiculous statement.
Which, by the way, is exactly what the Biden Department of Justice pointed out in its appeal to the Ninth Circuit, that the Western Hemisphere makes it easy for those of Latin descent, Hispanics, to cross the southern border. So, of course, it has a disparate impact on those of Hispanic descent. So, but the idea that it was targeted to Hispanics as opposed to targeted at the border is ludicrous on its face. But as a lawyer who takes being a good lawyer seriously, you can tell this judge is more interested in the political activism of this opinion than in being a good judge by the use of that Latinx phrase there. This is political activism by a judge. I believe it's impeachment worthy, and I believe that with a ruling this outrageous, combined with that clear political intent, which judges are supposed to avoid, this is not a respectable decision. It'll be reversed at the Ninth Circuit. I don't think it'll ever even go to the Supreme Court.
Well, I hope you're right, but it's clear to me where they're going with all this, and I'm sure it is to you as well, which is that a border, what this judge is essentially saying is that a border is by definition racist. I mean, that's essentially where they're going.
Right.
In other words, we can't have a border, a frontier in a woke world. That's their bottom line, is it not?
Well, the real bottom line is to erase America, and you start by erasing the borders. And this is a reverse way to do that. So I agree with your basic premise there. This is just another way for the radical left to attempt to get rid of America's borders, because to them, we're no better than anybody else. We're not an exceptional nation, and we shouldn't be maintained as if we are and as we have for 200+ years. And that's a dramatic difference in America. They're a very small minority in this country, but they're loud and they're powerful, and they're the ones running for office as new Democrats like AOC and Cori Bush and so forth. We have them in Virginia's state legislature. Every state in the country now has them in their legislatures, and it's a true threat to America as we have ever understood it. We're not dealing from the right with people on the left who just have a different idea about how to make America great. They believe America must be undone. And that is something that every American should take into account in every election when they vote. And it's also something that they need to realize is going on in our body politic and in courts.
Well, you know who realizes,
judge's opinion.
Who realizes what's going on and doesn't like it is the Latino community themselves. I mean, if those Democrats think that this is going to help them with the Latin vote, they're dead wrong, because we have seen the polls. I think we have one that we can put up here. Biden's approval rating has gone down to 42%. His disapproval rating amongst Latino voters is now 54%. So he's underwater with the Latin vote. It isn't helping them at all.
Well, you know, 2 points on that. First of all, this is one of the dangers for people who just assign us all to groups based on our skin color or our religion or anything else. They're always wrong. We are individuals. Hispanics are individuals. Blacks are individuals. Whites are individuals. We think for ourselves. That drives the leftists crazy, and they frankly have a hard time conceiving of it. And so they stumble into exactly this kind of mistake. And you're absolutely right about how ordinary American Hispanics utterly reject this cultural attack, not only on them, but all of us. And right here where I live in Northern Virginia, they just finished drawing new congressional district lines, and Hispanic Board of Supervisor member Yesli Vega is going to be running for that congressional seat, and she'll take this on head on. It's going to drive the left crazy right here where I live.
Good for her. By the way, we don't have enough time, but we were going to talk about it's the underhanded way that so many things happen. They just had another one of these middle of the night movement of immigrants. It's extraordinary, and it was done on Christmas night of all times, where they were shipping the immigrants. It's really getting under the skin of a lot of Americans. Ken Cuccinelli, good to see you. Thank you very much. Have a great new year.